Hi, I'm Fasted Fred. If I told you that something you imagine is only for bodybuilders, but in reality, it can make your diet more effective than truly burning fat and preserving muscle, would you believe me? Fourthly, it's creatine. It's not that creatine melts fat like a color. Instead, creatine helps you avoid a silent price to pay for overeating, the price that makes many people feel weak, flabby, and discouraged after losing weight. I want to start with a very personal moment. There was a period when I was extremely overweight, eating within a very slim frame and exercising regularly. I looked in the mirror and saw my weight had gone down, but I wasn't happy. It felt like my batteries were draining. My workouts weren't working, my arms and legs felt weak, my muscles looked smaller, and by midday, I easily fell into a lethargic and uncomfortable state. The scary thing wasn't the fatigue. It was the feeling that I was trying so hard, but the opportunity wasn't cooperating. And right then, I kept hearing that familiar phrase, creatine is a mask. It keeps you hydrated, it makes you look softer. I believed that for a long time because it sounded logical. Fasting was making me feel lighter, and I was drinking something that was supposedly causing a burning sensation. So I ignored creatine, while what I really lacked wasn't more fat-burning tips, but a way to maintain strength and muscle mass so that fasting wouldn't turn me into a weaker version of myself. Only when I bothered to understand the proper mechanism did I realize the scary part wasn't creatine itself. The scary part was my tendency to eat whatever I wanted and accept my performance decline, then making decisions about my body as if it were a violation of discipline. Therefore, today I'm going to talk about creatine in the simplest way possible. I'll address the two fears that prevent you from using it, and then I'll give you 4 typical, simple, practical ways to apply it correctly, so you can use it without confusion, worry, or disrupting your fasting rhythm. The first fear is that water retention means unsightly bulges. Hearing about water retention, many people imagine water under the skin, making the face look fuller, the body softer, rounder, and appearing like increased fat. But with creatine, what usually happens is within the muscle tissue. Imagine the muscle tissue as an engine that needs a stable environment to run well. Creatine helps muscles retain a little more water within the muscle cells, the kind of water that contributes to performance. Therefore, the muscle tissue is supported, allowing for more efficient training and a more defined physique. This isn't the kind of subcutaneous bulge you fear. It's more like the muscle tissue is supported to work more stably, more powerfully, and more sustainably. So, don't run just because you see your muscle tissue is a little fuller. Many people see fuller muscles and imagine they're fat. But if you look at the overall picture, that fullness usually looks firmer, more defined, especially when fat is being lost. The bulge you fear isn't applied here. The main benefit of creatine is the feeling of fullness, the kind of full capacity. The second fear is growing rapidly. A nearly pure creatine solution mixed with water contains no sugar, no protein, and no carbs. It doesn't inherently disrupt your eating rhythm in the way many people imagine. The fourth source of confusion lies in the added flavorings or enhancements. Juices, milk, flavored powders, ready-to-use mixes, or other unnoticed additions. Many people think they're using creatine, but they're actually using a class of added compounds, sweeteners, flavorings, and other ingredients, and it's this that easily alters the reaction mechanism during a structured fast. In short, creatine isn't the problem, the additions are. Time to the most important question. If creatine isn't for burning fat, why does it make fasting more effective? When you fast, you reduce your energy intake from food to open up your fat reserves and use fat as fuel. But at the same time, your body also has a protective mechanism. When energy from food is low, the body will ask itself where it's getting fuel to continue functioning. And if you're still training, running, performing, skating, doing close recovery, your body may start viewing muscle as a backup source. This is a price many people don't immediately realize. Weight may drop, but muscle mass may also decrease. And when muscle mass decreases, you not only become weaker, but you also become more easily discouraged and give up, because you find yourself increasingly lacking energy and lacking motivation. Creatine acts like a small energy rescue pocket within your body's database. It helps your body have a readily available source of energy when you need it. Therefore, you maintain the quality of your training, your strength, and your movement throughout the day. And once you grasp those things, its new function will work correctly without dragging you into a state of exhaustion. I'm repeating this so you understand the mistake. Creatine doesn't burn fat directly. It helps you maintain muscle and strength to burn fat without breaking down your body structure. You don't need to burn faster. You need to burn more sustainably, and to sustain it, you need to maintain strength. Now, I'll give you a typical method that you can apply immediately without trouble, and it gets the most specific things right. The first thing is to choose a genuine, clean, and minimalist product. You should prioritize creatine, and I'll add a very important detail. Some products labeled as creatine are actually a mix with flavorings, sweeteners, and other additives. If your goal is to use it during a fasting regimen, choosing the simplest product possible is a way to protect yourself from hidden ingredients you don't want. The next thing is to drink it consistently instead of obsessing over the perfect timing. Creatine is a cumulative effect. If you drink it regularly, your muscles will gradually absorb it, and the effects will become more noticeable. If you drink it sporadically, you'll feel like you're not seeing any results. If you're training while fasting, you can drink it with water around the training session, before or after, whichever feels more comfortable in your stomach. If you're training during a meal, drinking it with your first meal is also fine. With creatine, the most important thing is that you can maintain it without discomfort. And if you have a sensitive stomach, instead of gulping it down quickly, drink more slowly, or divide it into smaller portions to make it easier on your body. The third thing is to make this combination smooth with water and electrolytes. This is the point many people overlook. When you fast, you consume less salt and minerals from food. Creatine, on the other hand, draws water into your muscles. If you are dehydrated or electrolyte deficient, you are prone to headaches, cramps, or general discomfort, which you might mistake for the creatine. In reality, your body is signaling low mineral levels, so prioritize sufficient water throughout the day, and if you are often tired or prone to cramps, especially when exercising or sweating, supplement with sugar-free electrolytes in moderation. The goal isn't to make it taste better. The goal is to keep your body comfortable so you can maintain the effect, because maintenance is what creates results. Finally, monitor your weight carefully to avoid being fooled by the scale. When you start creatine, your weight might increase slightly due to water retention in your muscles. This is normal and not fat. If you only look at the scale every day, you'll panic and stop, then conclude that creatine is making you fat. Look in the mirror, look at your waistline, and look at your workout performance. If you're working out more effectively, recovering better, your muscles aren't shrinking as much, and you look more toned, that's a good sign. The goal isn't just weight loss. The goal is a better, healthier, and more resilient body. And creatine, when used correctly, often helps you get closer to that goal in a very real, quiet, but clear way. When you apply these 4 things correctly, you'll find that creatine doesn't create a high. It creates a feeling of well-being. Your workouts will be less exhausting, you'll feel less drained throughout the day. Your muscles will be more present in your workouts. And this is more important than you think. When you don't feel drained, you're less likely to seek quick fixes like sugary drinks or extra caffeine. When you have fewer quick fixes, fasting naturally becomes easier. You don't have to strain yourself with willpower from morning till night. You have a foundation for the long haul, and that foundation makes you more confident in your plan. You no longer feel like you're paying the price with your health every time you want to lose fat. I also want to clarify something to avoid psychological dependence. If you stop creatine one day, the feeling of fullness due to water retention in your muscles may gradually decrease. That doesn't mean you lose all your fat loss progress. You'll just lose a support system for performance and muscle feel. Your real results still depend on your core habits, consistency, how you eat within your framework, how you train, and how you sleep. Creatine isn't magic. It's a tool to help you do the important things right and make them easier. Now, let me conclude with a sentence you'll remember for a long time. Fasting opens the way for your body to use fat. Creatine helps you maintain strength and muscle mass along that path. One side helps you burn fat. The other side helps you avoid weakness and maintain your form. The secret lies in simplicity, consistency, electrolyte drinks, and tracking your progress using something that truly reflects your body. If you'd like me to suggest a way to adapt this to your schedule, please comment with 3 things. What type of fasting are you doing? Do you exercise while fasting? And what are your biggest concerns about creatine? Are you worried about bloating, stomach discomfort, losing your fasting rhythm, or gaining weight? I will read and answer specifically, so you don't have to figure things out on your own and get confused. And a small reminder before we end. If you have any underlying health conditions or are taking medication, please consult your doctor before adding creatine to your routine. Thank you for reading this far. I wish you a stress-free fasting experience, powerful workouts, good muscle maintenance, and sustainable fat loss. Goodbye.